Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. I'm really excited to be joined by heavyweight. I was going to say, so before when I introduced you, it was soon to make his debut, but now it successfully made his debut, and now looking forward to the future. Johnny Fisher, fantastic heavyweight debut. Really good performance. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Farzan. It was a good performance. If I look at, I was sort of comparing myself to the other prospects, how they dealt with Matt Gordon. I was expected to win, but I think the manner in which I won was quite good and quite impressive. So it's a good starting point, and there's a long way to go.
Yeah, 100%. I thought it was a really impressive debut, and as you said, you know, early days, but it's good signs, isn't it, going forward, I think. And yeah, but before we get into the boxing side of things, I want to talk about the most important thing, which obviously is food. So
Yes.
you clearly, as an elite athlete, you said to me before you're on a strict diet, strict regime, but I know you're given a week after the fight to just really just enjoy yourself. So do you want to go into some of you know, the finer delicacies that you, I guess, enjoyed after the fight?
Well, the finer delicacies, they all start with the CH, if I think about it. Chinese, chicken, and cheesecake. They're my three main things that I've been eating. And I've had loads of fried chicken, loads of Chinese. I had about 4 or 5 Chineses in a week. I was eating pancake rolls like that. Loads of cheesecake, New York cheesecake, my favourite. So I really, well and truly overdid it. And I think when I had that first run back about a week ago at Hainault Forest, oh my God, I felt it big time. I was good for about 80% of the way. And then the last 20% of the run, I just started to fall off a little bit. And it just shows you how important eating correctly is. But you've got to allow yourself a week off, and then you reset and you go again. And I'm already building back to where I was. So I'm nearly there.
Yeah, 100%. No, it would have been nice, I guess, to have that week off. As you said, as soon as you start training, you realize like actually it's like, okay, yeah, I'm back on it now. That's it. I've had my time to, stuff my face, enjoy stuff, must have been great. But
Yeah.
you've celebrated and now it's back on it.
Yeah, well, that's the
Go on.
you can feel your body. Like when you're training, you don't want to eat rubbish, because if you're fueling your body with rubbish when you're training, you don't actually enjoy eating it, because you know in a few hours you're going to be going through hell, even worse than what's normal with training.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. Even like myself, I don't play any elite level sports, but I still play, club sports, and it makes
Yeah,
such a difference when you just eat badly one day and then you go and play, and the next thing you know, you just feel so rubbish after,
yeah.
and during as well. So yeah,
You don't notice how, when you're eating well, you don't notice the benefit as much, but you do once you start eating rubbish, and you think, oh, hang on, it's not as if it gets better when you eat healthy, but you can notice a huge bad streak when you go and eat rubbish. So it's always better to stick to your guns and eat good.
yeah, exactly, 100% agreed. And um, I guess touching upon the debut, then, so you had some really big names give you support before and after. Obviously, Lennox Lewis, Tyson Fury as well. How did it feel having, people who have really climbed the mountain and conquered? Obviously, Tyson Fury's still boxing now, but Lennox Lewis is seen by a lot to be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time and potentially the best British boxer of all time. Alongside people like Joe Calzaghe, etc. How first of all, I guess, how amazing was it to have those people give support? And secondly, like, how do you take it on? I'm assuming you just took it in your stride. You seem like quite a grounded person, and I'm assuming it hasn't at all, gone to your head and you think, oh, I'm this amazing person. Because from listening to you, you're very much okay. There's a process, and I'm humble, and I'm going to make my way through it. And it doesn't matter what people say. I'll take it on board, and it's great to have that. But that's not the be all and end all. Is that right?
Yeah, that's 100% right. Listen, to have my idol Lennox Lewis send me some messages, and it was unbelievable. And you feel unbelievably grateful. And Tyson Fury as well. It's shocking to begin with, because you're like, Jesus, what's going on here? This is unbelievable. And Billy Joe Saunders, another one I know is my stable mate, but for him to send me a good luck message as well was brilliant. I've had some good names, but as you said, at the end of the day, you've still got to go in there and do a job, and it doesn't matter. I could have let that pressure get to me, in a sense. I could have let it go to my head and think, well, I've got all these big names behind me. I've got to really perform. It wasn't a matter of me getting arrogant because these people were supporting me. It's more the fact that the pressure could have built up and got too much, because you've got all these eyes on you. So I never think about it in an arrogant way, because there's nothing to be arrogant about. I'm just a prospect who's got a chance to on a good platform here. So you've got to take it in your stride, and you've got to not let it get to you too much. And then when the right time comes, you can keep pushing on and keep pushing on.
Yeah, agreed. And the thing is, you say that, you're not to be arrogant about, but a lot of people, to be fair, like, in your position, they would be. And I think that just shows what a great place you're in mentally in your career, that you're looking to say, well, actually, taking my stride. And as you said, use it as fuel to push you on. And it's more a case of, the pressure. But obviously it didn't affect you on the day. And I'm sure you'll just use it as kind of fuel to the fire for your career. So that's fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. How was it after? Because I said to you, you're a man in demand. So you kind of went from, of course, there was being signed to S-Jam and, boxing on Sky Sports. People knew beforehand, okay, we want a piece of Johnny Fisher. But now, after that really impressive win, I've seen, you're doing a lot of media. I can imagine you're probably thinking, when I messaged you, you're like, oh man, another one, which is understandable. And so for you, how have you taken it on? Have you just thought, okay, have you got used to it, or is it still a bit like, oh, it's so much coming on at once?
Well, it was a lot. Even from the weigh-in, after the weigh-in, I switched my phone off and deleted all my social media, because it's great to have support, and I had loads of support from my university as well. But you get questions, and I'm really grateful for all the support, but you get the same question over and over again. What time's the fight? How are you feeling? And you don't need to answer them questions when you've just got to switch off completely for that little bit between the weigh-in and the fight. And then when you go into the arena, that's when you switch on. So it's very difficult. I know it seems like you're being rude to people, but I'm never being rude to people. It's just, you need to switch on. And now after, I can go back and I can say thank you to everyone, because all the support is what makes me the person I am, and having great grounded people and genuine people around me. So I'm really always really grateful for all the help and support I get.
Yeah, no, well said. And yeah, it's understandable, because as you said, like, sometimes you just get the same questions, and you're just thinking, I've just answered like 50 times, but people don't realize. But yeah, I guess before a fight, and that's why, you said as well, you switched to social media beforehand. That's probably the right thing to do. And after, once you got that victory, then it's all good. I saw you been doing a lot of running and, as you said, sprints and long distance stuff. You've also got a new addition as well, haven't you? In Daniel Dubois. How's that been? How's he settling in?
It's been brilliant. He trains really, really hard. He's really, really nice guy as well. I know I'm good mates with Joe Joyce, and I was backing Joe Joyce in their fight, but I never spoke badly of Daniel Dubois. I said, look, he's got huge power. He will be a champion one day. I just think it's a step too soon, and it showed to be true. But that doesn't mean he can't come back. And now we're working together. We can learn off each other. We'll get some great sparring in, and we both train really hard. One thing I noticed about Daniel is he trains very, very hard, and it's good to have another heavyweight with that same level of work ethic in the camp, because we'll push each other on. Yeah,
agreed. I mean, obviously he's kind of, for him, as you said, he faced Joe Joyce, which is a really big fight. Now he's coming back, recovering, recuperating, and it'll be fantastic for you guys to bounce off each other, I guess, because you're both young heavyweights as well. So that would be really, really good.
He's had that wealth of experience as well, fighting at that higher level than I have. He's had, 12, 13 pro fights now as well. So he's then levels above me. So it's great for me to be, even if I work in his shadow for 6 months or 12 months, it's brilliant for me to sort of shadow him and see what he does.
Yeah, no, I mean, mate, when I talk to you, all I think is like tick box in my head, which it's just there for some reason, which is like, he just seems like he's a sponge and he just wants to continually learn. Exactly. And that's really great to hear.
And I'm not be big-headed about anything, because there's no need to be big-headed. And as you said, heavyweights, you're only one punch away from disaster at any point. So if you stay grounded and you don't big yourself up, then you're not going to walk onto anything you shouldn't. And you always everything you're doing is out of goodwill and honesty and genuineness. So it's worth it.
Yeah, 100%. And how's it been? So you had that fight now. You're back in kind of training? Do you have your eyes set on a date or kind of a roundabout when you want to be back out?
Yeah, so Sam's meeting with Eddie Hearn on, I think it's next week or this week. And they're aiming for sort of end of April, May time. That's when we're thinking we want to be out quite regularly, because obviously I've got to gain some experience with my limited amateur background. It's not a problem having limited amateur background, but you want to stay as active as possible anyway when you first begin your career, because I've got to go through them learning fights, and I can't be pushed too soon, but that doesn't mean I can't stay active. So that's the plan for this year.
No, really good. Yeah, I guess the more activity, the better, isn't it? For sure. So fingers crossed you can stay as active as possible as well. And also, fingers crossed, you'll be able to box in front of crowds as well.
I can't wait for that. Listen, I've got some great support in Essex and Romford, where I'm from, and unbelievable support from Exeter as well. I remember all my friends, my close friends in Exeter, were saying everybody was talking about the fight on Saturday night back in 20th of February, and I had great support all over from the university. So all I'm hoping for is when crowds were back in May, June time, we can get a great group of Essex people, Essex lads and girls, and everyone from there, and Exeter people down as well, and it will be a great mix of people, and we'll return to normality slowly.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And something just popped into my head, and it was quite when I was watching you fight. You know, and obviously it's funny. Because I know you now a little bit as well. I was watching it, and you know, once Matt Gordon got stopped, I saw straight away you went over to him, so you know you're right. Which you know, a lot of boxers will do, but it wasn't that. I could tell that you were genuine. Like, you know, you asked him a couple of times, and you actually talked to him and stuff, and that for me was like, for me as a fan watching it, it touched me in a way that I just thought, okay, in the ring, right? Obviously, you're there to do your business. It's your job. It's a profession. But then after, there's no need to have that kind of animosity, and you know, there's a respect there. But it's not just the respect; it's the kind of concern you had as well to check on him like that, and the way that you did it. I don't know why, but to me, it was like, oh, that's really, really good to see. So I just wanted to say that because I just thought it was really nice to see.
Listen, when you're fighting, obviously your aim is to do damage. That's the aim of it. You don't have any concern for their health or well-being. But when I watch it back and I look back, and as soon as the fight has ended, you do have a concern because you're a human being at the end of the day. But for some reason, when you fight, I don't care. You don't care. That's just the animal instinct kicks in. But afterwards, you don't want anyone to get hurt. You don't want anybody to have unnecessary punishment. And that's why I'm happy that the referee stopped it when it did, because one, I missed a very big uppercut, which if it did connect, could have been very, very dangerous. And two, Matt Gordon was out on his feet and he was stumbling all over the place. And it would have been a free shot, and we don't need to do that. This is a sport. This isn't life or death, and we want to preserve people as much as we can.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's the right attitude. And obviously, when you're in there, you're just one-track minded. It's about, you know, getting the win, and then after that, as you said, it's over, it's done, isn't it? So no, really well said. Really well said. You said you're a big cricket fan, right?
Yes.
England just got destroyed by India. Did you watch any of it? What do you think?
I've been watching bits and bobs of it, but I think I'm a big cricket fan, but obviously when cricket's being played in England, I tend to watch it more. Because whenever England go abroad and they play on them spinning, turning pitches in India, subcontinent pitches, we seem to capitulate, and we don't have the spin quality that these other sides have, really. We've got some good one-day spinning options, like Adil Rashid's brilliant, but I don't think we've got that. We lack a few key core players in our test team. A core batsman who can stick in there for the whole innings, and a high-quality, world-class spinner. We just don't have them two things at the minute, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're just a golfing class, I think, unfortunately. But to be fair, it's going to be the white ball series is starting. So T20 is starting on Friday. So, you know, as you're not in camp, you might have a bit of time to watch. And it's at a better time as well. It's like 1:30 in the day rather than 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, that's a bit easier. That's the thing. I don't want to get up and waste my sleeping time to watch these things. But I keep up to date. But we're a bit more comfortable with white ball cricket. So hopefully we'll get Jason Roy in there somewhere. I'm a big fan of his, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm a big Surrey fan because I'm a Surrey boy. So that's good. Yeah, exactly. Of course, you're Essex. Yeah, no, but I mean, Dan Lawrence obviously is an Essex lad. He played quite well as well. And he's quite young. But yeah, that'll be good. And who knows, if you're free, we might get you on for a little bit of a chat about the white ball series. Who knows?
I know we keep talking about it, but hopefully I can watch a bit of this white ball series, and then I'll be up to date with everything, and we can have a chat about it. That'd be good.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. What does so you said, you know, obviously they're going to talk about when you're going to be out, but for you, I guess ideally, when you're looking to start camp, are you looking to start, like, is there a set kind of timeline that you're thinking, I want to be training and then maybe be in camp in a month's time, or is it just see how it goes with Sam and everyone else?
Well, obviously when you get a date, things kick into gear a little bit more. You can start planning. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm in full training now. I've been in full training for about a week now. Sparring Wednesday with Daniel, a bit of body sparring, and Friday we're sparring with Fabio. So we're going up there. So I'm in camp. When you start sparring properly, that's when you know you're ready to go. Cash Ali's been on for sparring as well, so hopefully I'll go up to him after. So sparring is when you know you're in the business end sort of thing. And I'm only 6 weeks away at any point from a fight, so I'll stay ready and I'm ready to go whenever.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that at this point now as well, you just had your debut. I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, but yourself and Mark Tibbs will be looking at certain things, I guess, because you're not in full training camp. You're training fully, but you're not in the business end in training camp. That you're looking at things to tweak and improve on, right?
Yes.
Before then.
Listen, I've got lots and lots to improve on. The main thing with fighting the southpaw in the debut, I couldn't really show the extent of my jab because my game plan for that fight was to ram the right hand through, and it was working. So I obviously pressured him for the first 30 seconds to a minute, took a step off and assessed the situation after establishing authority. And I was looking for the counter right hand. I didn't really need to. I used the jab as like a measuring stick, but I didn't have to pop it really because I knew the right hand was there and it worked.
Yeah, it was more like a rangefinder, wasn't it? Pouring to kind of see distance. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's good. It's good talking. I like this kind of technical talk because then I can learn as well. It's a bit cheeky for me, and I can get a bit of knowledge. Exactly. No, it's all good.
Talking to people. That's why in the gym I like to listen to other people when they're just say Mark's working with Billy Joe or something like that. I like to listen to their conversations because you can always pick something up.
You know what? Talking of Billy Joe, obviously he's got a huge fight coming up in May, against Canelo as well. It's all right. How have you? You've probably seen him train a little bit. I mean, how's he looking? He must be looking pretty sharp at the moment. I know he made a couple of jokes and said, he's just in there. I had some interviews saying, a bit tongue in cheek, like I'm just there to get beaten. But I know with Billy Joe, similar to Tyson Fury, the mind games start pretty quickly. Yeah. And I know he's confident going into it because he's talked about it for years. How's he looking at the moment?
Billy Joe, he's looking great. Billy Joe's actually been away for a good few weeks in Fuerteventura with Mark, so they've been training really well. And I spoke to Mark a few times, and he said he looks incredible shape already. So he's preparing hard, and then his official camp will be starting very soon over in the States when they go over there. So the one thing about Billy Joe, he likes to have a laugh and a joke, and he's great to be around. But when it comes down to training, he's a complete professional, and I really do think there could be an upset on the cards. I know Canelo's a world-class, unbelievable fighter, but if there's one man on the planet, and a lot of people were saying this, with the footwork, the skills, the mind games, to have any effect on on Canelo, Billy Joe's the man.
I agree.
I really do believe he can do it. I really do.
And also, Canelo was speaking English in his so before his fight recently. So his understanding of English is a lot better. So Billy Joe might be able to play the mind games with me more potentially. So we'll see how that goes.
Exactly. I know Canelo's a champion, and he probably don't let mind games affect him too much. But Billy Joe's a wind-up merchant. We know that. So if there's any man to do it, we could be in for. And they're not coming to lie down and lose. Billy Joe is there to win. So let's hope he can do it and bring it back for Great Britain.
Exactly, yeah. And if you don't have a fight around about that time, may you potentially be going out with the camp?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to get out there in America. There's a chance you could even fight on the undercard. Who knows? But Sam Jones talks a good game and see if he can back it up. That'd be unbelievable. But we'll see. We'll see what the plan is. Sam's the magic man. He knows what to do. He's got me to where I am. So whatever the plan is, I'm ready to go.
Oh, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Imagine second, third fight going out to the US on one of the. I mean, to be honest, it'll be one of the biggest fights of the year. I mean, hands down. So what a spectacle!
Well, we've just seen Canelo go through Callum Smith and beat him, and Callum Smith's a world-class fighter. So he's gone through a lot of big names, and now Billy Joe's the last one who can really stop him. And I think it is the best to last at the minute out of everyone in the division. And I think this is the time for Billy Joe to step up and show what he's made of.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to be a cracker, and it's been long anticipated fight. I think he's been chasing it for a long time, and he's finally got it. So fingers crossed for the people in the UK as well. But in May, and there's obviously Josh Taylor versus Ramirez got announced as well, and that's in a couple of weeks difference there. So there's some huge fights coming up as well. Do you watch a lot of boxing? Do you watch a lot of boxing? My boxing.
I watch a lot. To be honest with you, I won't stay up to watch. I'm not one of these guys, unless it's a heavyweight. So I won't stay up till 3, 4 in the morning to watch these fights. But I do watch a lot of boxing. Who was I watching? I was watching someone. I actually watched the Billy Joe Chris Eubank Jr. fight, the full fight back yesterday, and that was good to watch because obviously Mark Tibbs and Jimmy Tibbs are training in there. So I do like to watch my boxing. I like to watch a lot of the old fighters. I watched Mike Tyson's knockouts all the way through to when he fought Trevor Berbick as well. So that was good to watch. I do watch boxing, mainly heavyweight boxing, but yeah, I do enjoy it.
Nice. It's interesting because I talk to different fighters. Some fighters say they don't watch boxing at all. It's interesting, right? Because you'd expect them to. They said, no, I don't watch it at all. I just I don't really enjoy watching it. I fight, and my coach, he looks at tapes and stuff. And then there's some who are completely mad about it and they watch everything, and then you have people in between, which seems to be most people. You
think about if it was your job, if your job was to, I don't know, to go and do if you're an accountant, you don't want to come home and then start watching accountancy documentaries, do you? You want to do something else. So for some people, it's different, isn't it?
It's almost like exactly what I do for a living. So
yeah,
because I'm an accountant. Yeah, I don't want to talk about accounting with you, Johnny. That's for sure.
No, I think it's a bit dry, that one.
Exactly. Cool. Yeah, let's keep it short and sweet because I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I'm sure we can catch up again as well at some point. Is there anything you want to touch upon before we wrap up?
I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's supporting me. I've got some, not only just people who support me who come watch, but I've got some great sponsors on board now. They all know who they are. I've got my day one sponsors who are MK Recruit, who are very special to me because they sponsored me before I had anything. But I've got great sponsors up and down the board around Essex and some good companies. So it's brilliant to have that support, and I'll keep trying to represent them all as best as I can.
Yeah, no, 100%. Really, really good call out there. Thanks very much, Johnny, as well, for being on. And I had a nice little chat with your dad over social media. He's really nice. Yeah,
he's good. He's probably having the Chinese at the time, so he's probably happy.
No, I think it was I replied to Instagram story where he was taking a video of you eating some chicken spring rolls from the Chinese, and I said, oh, that looks really nice, and he goes yeah, he's like, cheeky bugger, I'm on a diet and he's eating that in front of me.
He nearly lost 3 stone, so he's doing well, but there's a long way to go, but he's on a diet. So when I was having my break from eating healthy, it was really getting on his nerves, but he stuck to it. Fair play to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's as you said, he posted lost some weight, so all good, fantastic. Good to see everyone's good in the Fisher family as well. And thanks very much again, mate, for being on. Really do appreciate it. All the best as well in training, and look forward to seeing some fight news as well.
Yep, I will. No problem, Faizan. Thanks for having me on, and we'll speak soon, no doubt.
No worries. Have a good one, mate.
All the best. See you later, mate.